He really is. He's really improved from the very first season we saw him, and now he is potentially one of the best players on this team. And as such, TeamNut taking us to the Volskaya Foundry. This is the map that SPT have struggled on in the past, but they've really turned it up this phase. Let's see if TeamNut, though, can bring anything a little special and give us a nice show and achieve themselves a single point, which allowed them to move ahead of Team KT. If SPT are able to win the second game in a row, then they will achieve a solid 3 points. A wonderful 3 points, in fact. And that would move them tied with the 1, but they will have played one more game.
That is correct. And the one they have to play CE today, which is going to be our El Clasico, our absolute highlight of the play days. So definitely worth watching a little bit later during the broadcast. But I really like the fact that TeamNut actually seized the initiative here and picked the map and basically didn't allow SPT to go to BOE, right? BOE was still available. Yeah. It's one of the strongest maps SPT has. So, yeah, overall a good move by the Nuts here.
Genji, first ban, taking that away from TeamNut. What is the response by TeamNut? Misaka has really been leaning on this Diablo. I would not mind just banning it out straight away here. He can play other heroes. We already noticed his Muradin especially has looked really good this season, but they are clearly building a lot of comps around it, so just get rid of it. But instead, we're going to start with the Decade Kane ban.
Yeah, we even saw him bust out the Stitches every now and then. So Misaka, you know, his Diablo is strong, no doubt, but it also had the weak moments in that first game, right? When he came back out of base, died immediately again after, when he got focused on the early game, getting ganked multiple times. So it's not like his Diablo is unbeatable, but you're right, Tetcher. It's definitely his most played hero, and definitely here that he can dominate on if the stars align.
And now, what are we going to see as the first pick for TeamNut? With Malfurion taken away and them banning Decade, which is peculiar. They're down to, well, many healers, and they're going to save their healer. A Zeratul Phoenix coming out here to start off with. That's an unusual opening, Kendrick.
Double Protoss, especially that Zeratul as a first pick, puts up a little bit of a question mark here. I fully agree. It's not like you can hard counter a Zeratul at this point, because a lot of heroes who used to be considered hard counters, like Tassadar, for example, aren't really in the meta anymore. Like, they're still pickable, don't get me wrong, but there's a Hanzo, for example, still left there. There's a Kuromi that you can use for all that vision, even a Karzim to a certain point. So unless they really have a strong battle plan in mind, TeamNut that is, with that Zeratul VP, maybe going for a wombo combo style, then it's a little bit questionable, in my opinion.
Chat suggesting there might just be a full Protoss comp.
Artanis, sure. Tassadar in there. And
then either Probe or Alarak.
Ooh, man. Probius is actually a hero that I expected some of the Chinese teams play way more. It's still a hero that gets picked every now and then in pro play.
I'm not sure I would be on board that train. I love my Protoss, but I don't know, man. It's Probius. As we do see Sergeant Hammer coming in for SPT. Running it, it's a good map that for controlling single areas, because it's literally called the control point. So Hammer sieging up on them can be wonderful.
Yeah, they're not going with the Johanna here, by the way. SPT that is. They still focus on that Diablo. And if Diablo is played in a protective way, he can definitely peel quite nicely, right? You just overpower the engaging heroes, you slam them against the walls and keep them safe for now. Even the Lightning Breath can be used to great effect as a zoning tool to keep them away from the Sergeant Hammer. And they ban out the Chromie. Yet again, one of the biggest counters to the Sergeant Hammer. She doesn't move a lot. She can get burst down pretty heavily.
So now, TeamNut, how are you going to do this? You already have a kind of diver hero in the form of Zeratul. What do you pick with it? You need something that is actually going to allow you to kill the Sergeant Hammer, as Kendrick already mentioned, as otherwise it's going to be a menace, and Diablo can peel, so you need something that is a relatively safe diver, and if it gets punted by Diablo, isn't going to explode.
Like, already, like, sure, I wanted to bring up the Thrall as well, but now you're basically going in with 2 melee assassins already. One of them, of course, could be the Soul Laner, Thrall in that case. Zeratul could also do it, allowing Thrall to rotate a little more and gank more. But now they're basically left with a main tank and a support. And I'm not sure if they can win any team fights, if the first couple seconds don't work well for them, right? They're going ham with a VP, maybe with an Earthquake or a Sundering, and if they don't get a kill immediately, they're just going to get out-sustained, they're just going to get out-poked, and that could be a problem. And we saw it, Tetcher, we've seen it in the past. Stitches is no longer that automatic Sergeant Hammer counter they used to be.
Sergeant Hammer's Siege Tactics has exactly a 12-second cooldown and lasts for 2 seconds. Stitch's hook also is a 12-second cooldown. Assuming that Diablo is able to block all other CC, or at least all other threats to Hammer's life, Sergeant Hammer can perfectly block every single hook that comes her way with very little difficulty by pressing a single button. And of course, Stitches is a very telegraphed move. Assuming you can see the Stitches, you know it's coming. Only blind hooks should hit Hammer, and if not, they should be hitting Diablo, who is less ideal for taking a hook than someone like a Johanna or a Muradin, but can still do okay.
I think we could see a Zarya here again, to be honest. SPT has played her in the past, but they go for another beefy frontliner, quite literally, and this is going to be an offlaner. ETC, you know?
This will be our first winning ETC solo laner, if it does win. Because so far, ETC has been in the solo lane about 4 times and has lost every single one.
You're definitely onto something here. If SPT makes this work, then the reputation of a solo lane ETC will be greatly redeemed, and they... I don't know,
Excuse
man.
me? Excuse me? Just trying to have a drink and that.
So, the thing is, like...
Maybe it is a Simba situation.
So, Lily, on the one hand, you know, she offers blinds, right? But on the other hand, against ranged auto attackers like a Sergeant Hammer with the most massive of ranges, how's she even going to hit her?
Hook? I assume they're just committing to hook Water Dragon?
I don't know, man.
Is that the play?
I don't know what it is, but TeamNut might just try to have a little bit of fun here.
Just replace the N in TeamNut with a W, and that is my feelings towards this. I am quite confused. Okay, so let's talk this up as if it's a... let's talk this up and weigh up the pros.
Yeah.
Lily actually has really good healing numbers.
If she
you
goes
have
for
a very
Jax.
melee composition, you're going to have a pretty decent amount of healing overall. She has Cleanse, something not all supports have these days, and you're against an ETC. Pretty good. And of course, the blinds, ETC auto attacks, are pretty okay. And we obviously have the Sergeant Hammer. Unstoppable, also, I don't believe actually stops blinds anymore. I believe that was changed a little bit ago. If I'm incorrect, I'm sure chat will tell me very quickly. Now, and she also can offer slows to empower via either the Water Dragon or via her Whirlwind. There's a talent for that, which can empower the Phoenix. These are the pros. Cons: can't choose your healing target. The cleanse is on a...
can't reach Sergeant Hammer in most cases.
Cleanse on cooldown. Can't reach Sergeant Hammer. Potentially has her heals interrupted. As she goes for the damage, her healing output isn't that high. And that's just to start as we head in to Volskaya Foundry. And on the left-hand side, it is TeamNut with No on Zeratul, FS on Stitches, 7 Milk on Lily, Oasis on Phoenix, and a Tui playing Thrall.
Facing them is the team that is coming in as the huge favorites over TeamNut. It is SPT, currently leading 1-0 with Lucky on that Li Ming, and Melodies he's playing Sergeant Hammer, Misak on the Diablo, Soap on the ETC, and ZZH on the support on the Malfurion. Now, Tetra, I think you did a fantastic job summarizing the pros and cons of that Lily pick. And we do indeed see the Zeratul occupying the solo lane for the most part, because Thrall went for the good old Crash Lightning build. So on Volskaya Foundry, we saw a lot of Chinese teams do that in the past to mixed success, I want to say here. So it wouldn't surprise me if SPT actually just tried to shy away from any early skirmishes so that a Tui on that Thrall wouldn't be able to get those stacks going in the first place. And they're playing very passively, and that's exactly what they're supposed to do.
What is the size of the character limit in Heroes of the Storm?
I think it's 12 characters on your username. I'm not 100% sure, though.
TeamNut 7 Milk. That is a long name. I'm pretty sure that might be above 12, or that might be right on the limit.
Yeah, that's way above. So maybe there's some certain regulations, or they changed that one a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe it's different for the HGC accounts.
True.
Who knows? Either way, level 1 for Lily, as Lily less commonly picked. We're seeing the free drinks coming in here. Not going for a Serpent build, which can give you extra blinds, for example. Instead, just making sure her team is nice and topped up, adding sustain.
All right, man. So the real question is, Lily, what is she going to pick at level 10? Because, I mean, the Water Dragon would add a lot more lockdown. It would add a little bit more burst damage onto a single target, especially after a hook, maybe a Gorge as well there. On the downside, though, the Water Dragon is very likely going to be intercepted by Misaka of the Diablo every single time if nothing goes wrong. Or maybe the ETC. In both cases, those frontliners probably won't care that much about a tickling dragon.
And now let's talk about the other side, the Jug of 1,000 Cups. Let's count the CCs. Twilight Stream, potentially.
Yep.
Diablo, I don't think Hammer's knockback
Wave
counts.
of Force?
Wave of Force. Does that actually interrupt it? I thought that was just a knockback. I thought it only interrupted the EGC because it changed its positioning.
I'm pretty sure it interrupts it, though.
Okay. I'll trust you on that. It just says knocks back, so... you might be right. But either way, we still have Diablo Charge, Diablo Flip, ETC Charge, ETC Knockback. We still have quite a few good options. Mosh Pit, Apocalypse potentially. We still have quite a few options for interruptions onto Lily, who is sticking with the healing route and going with the Serpent Sidekick.
All right, the Serpent Sidekick, here we go. That is definitely what we want to see there. And we saw an early team fight already for that healing camp. We've seen that multiple times now, actually, when teams tried to pick it up. But so far, SPT, they think they're going to have to use it right off the get-go because ETC got hooked into the remaining team members of TeamNut. And there goes Thrall. Barely survives.
He's alive.
No
and
way.
So is Oasis. How do they keep living? But the fact is, they have kept living. They can now pull back. Unfortunately, that is going to be at the beginning of this control point phase. It will go over to SPT. As TeamNut, they have members grabbing Fountain and going back to base.
All right, so you know what? That was a big win for TeamNut. I mean, sure, they didn't get the healing pulse, but they also forced it out for SPT already, and nobody ended up dying as well. So yeah, quick correction, by the way. It looks like there's a couple of seasoned veteran Lily players out there who say that Wave of Force doesn't interrupt because it's not stationary. So we should be okay.
Hoorah! Also, we have a confirmation here that Seven Milk is in fact the team owner coming in here. So now we have learned.
Okay, we learned. So yeah, probably a really cool move here for them to actually put the owner in, just like in the good old SPT days with Simba. And that's exactly what happens every single time. Lily gets engaged upon on here, gets blown to pieces. There goes the reset coming in for Lucky. He's having a heyday. And Melody C, without breaking much of a sweat, he's just denying the hook value every single time. He's going to do that every single time.
Exactly, that should be what happens every single time unless it's a blind hook.
Exactly.
Hammer should not be hit by a single hook in this game unless Hammer is silly and burns the cleanse early, which would be a mistake.
I'm going to tell Melody C that you call him potentially silly.
He is silly in this hypothetical universe that he will hopefully just not do.
And now let the siege begin, Tetcher. Let it begin with Sergeant Hammer and the Protector. What are they doing? Oh, they're switching targets.
Juggling members. Yeah, Sergeant Hammer and the Protector moving in so Diablo can go to bot lane and begin soaking some experience. The Fountain being killed off by Melody C as the Rock and Sock of Robot, Rock'em and Socks the fort, and will take that down with no issues at all.
Yep, there we go. Sergeant Hammer and the Protector breaking down that middle fort. In the meantime, as you said, Tetcher, Diablo trying to soak a little bit more. I'm not sure if he's fully maxed out on souls. No, I don't think he is. Otherwise, we would see that aura underneath him. So, cool move here, basically allowing Diablo to get a little bit more soul soaking in there, soulstone farming. And look at that beautiful positioning of the Protector as well, covering the Sergeant Hammer. And now with hover mode enabled, he can actually walk to safety just in the nick of time.
We have Let's Go coming in for Lily. Not going to attempt to do that in her voice, but it is her version of Cleanse, which also does give a little bit of a heal, which is quite nice. It is a full cleanse, a 1 second unstoppable, as opposed to Malfurion's Nature's natural cleanse. So very cool to see that. It's always wonderful. And its cooldown is reduced by Lily's fast feet, and I assume the bug that we had on it a little while ago is fixed.
Yeah, but now we see the heavy-hitting attacks abilities coming in, right? Level 10 stage dive. Now we have a true global coming in for ETC. Misaka is getting that turret without breaking any sweats. Locking Stitches down, and down he goes. The big guy no longer in the game for TeamNut. I'm not even sure what he was supposed to do there in the first place. Did he not see the invade going down for SPT? But yeah, these individual mistakes, they open up the map as well for TeamNut. They're getting chopped down. They're getting hammered down quite literally by Melody C. And yeah, without level 10, there's just quite frankly nothing they can do to stop this from happening.
I thought the point in playing Hammer is that people stood in front of you. Turns out you don't need that if no one's in the lane. Anyone going to pick that up? There we go. My Furin's going to go pick that up because everyone else already had a knife. Because that's how much stuff they have. They have 2 turrets. I believe now a healing pulse as well, Medici, and wait for it. Oh, he's unsieged. He's vulnerable. But boosts away. Yes, this is the fun part. Hammer unsieging is actually surprisingly the worst thing you can do against Stitches. Makes you much more vulnerable.
And so P's just playing games with his pursuers here. Look at Diablo reinforcing, keeping Stitches at bay. Beautiful.
ETC, one of the world's shortest stage dives, gets to his team and will get a nice little heal.
Yeah, he also used the fountain most likely here. They have 2 turrets. They have the healing pulse. They're even using it here. Excuse me?
They're moving forward. Lightning breath. Lily gets deleted by Malfurion.
Double kill Hammer.
Shuts it down. Hammer gets the double kill. They're looking for No, the last surviving member. Lucky wants his resets. Lucky wants a new pair of something. Wave Force is used, but she's out of mana, out of abilities, out of cooldowns. And Zeratul will survive, but that was a massacre in an enclosed space.
Yeah.
Lightning Breath, BFG, Twilight Dream. What do you do against that?
They basically burned everything to the ground here.
Please show me this again.
I want to see that again. There we go.
Thank you. Show me it again. Putrid Bile, Lightning Breath, the beautiful BFG, Twilight Dream hits 3 members, completely denies, and Hammer double kill with the AoE. Absolutely gorgeous.
That ambush attack from stealth mode basically made the double kill perfect. A living dream, if you will. And SPT, I mean, they didn't even have the stage dive available, right? So they lacked 1 heroic ability, actually, because it was used earlier by Soap to get himself to safety. They didn't even need that one. The lockdown and the location, as Tetra said, the fighting spot they chose was just perfect. And now we see Thrall with that Sundering, by the way, trying to maybe disrupt the formation, trying to prevent the Twilight Dream from happening here, perhaps. It doesn't work on Diablo. Keep that in mind. He's unstoppable at casting the Lightning Breath. So, yeah, I don't know, Tetra. Can they actually do a TeamNut, or are they too far behind already? So far, this game is a disaster for them.
It's absolutely doable. They just have to start picking up kills and actually get objectives. That hook, a little bit too short range there, Stitches. A little bit too short range. Camera Stitches is dying.
I think Stitches gets away for now. Yeah.
But, yeah, this fort, however, is not going to be so lucky. It's going to completely focus down and will fall. Melody unsieges hook onto Diablo. Putrid Bile is being used. He's really struggling to get it down, though, because he's just being ping-ponged around like a ball. Wow, Salvo gets denied on Malfurion by that Void Prison. Not ideal. Anti-synergy. Twilight Dream. Misaka will die to the Putrid Bile, but FS is going to give his life for it. In the meantime, ETC and ZZH kill on Phoenix.
Yeah, Diablo didn't go for Feast on Fear at level 1, so otherwise he could have actually maybe survived that one with that overpower regenerating a lot of health back. He went for Devil's Due at level 1, which is the old-fashioned talent that many Diablo players for ages and eons have been relying on. It's not a bad one by any means, but just in that very moment, maybe the Feast on Fear could have been the better choice. But hey, they still won the team fight. Now Diablo is going to be busy farming those souls again. They have yet another healing pulse to support the ongoing push here in the top lane, and this Tetra might very well just be a keep.
They're going to try, juggling their members, choosing carefully. Hammer in hot seat already creeps forward. And Stitches is going to begin sieging, trying to clear up these minions. Look at that Protector sitting in front of Hammer. These tactics used anyway, just to be sure. Denies the hook just in case, but no, completely no luck here. Use that Protector positioning. 7 mil gets deleted.
Drops the
as
turret.
the Protector moves forward, looking for FS here, but FS will survive, but he's very low.
That he is. Tui did a good job securing the turret from the drop Lily. He doesn't even use it. I think he should have used it now, actually, to buy a little bit more time and, you know, use it against the enemy team. As it is, the keep is going to fall 100% here. ZZH is now available as well with his own healing pulse and the heals on top of that. And yeah, TeamNut, they just watch the keep go down.
And we are seeing Soap just re-rotating. He's fine. He's got no reason to be there anymore. With the keep down, SPT are more than happy to back up and continue to soak their way towards level 20. They have a talent advantage. They have many levels of advantage. They're going to try and get themselves an item advantage.
Yeah. Okay, is there actually enough people left to carry an item? Yeah, it looks like there were a couple of items used there before.
2 spaces, yeah.
Now, Giant Killer's, of course, there for Sergeant Hammer, chipping down the Stitches even more. But yeah, Tetcher, I would love to see statistics on whether Lily has managed to land a single blind into Sergeant Hammer in this game.
I would be interested in seeing that as well. I can tell you one statistic, though. Stitches has landed almost every single hook on the Sergeant Hammer, and it has had absolutely 0 effect.
Yes. Good try there, good move. Maybe expecting an ambush in that bush and trying to go for a blind hook.
It's an idea.
Yeah. But they need 16, man. They're not spreading out equally, though, because so much of their base has already been destroyed. So there's only so much movement freedom that TeamNut still has. And already, SPT trying to remove... Oh, they interrupt on that teleport just from downtown out of nowhere. I didn't even know why Phoenix attempted to teleport back there. And that is another disaster for the Nuts.
Yeah, no counter kill on ETC. It's just too hard to pin down. He escapes up in top lane. Lily with searching winds. Going to try and get some extra damage in there, some spell power, give him some kind of counter.
Yeah.
But not feeling good for TeamNut right now, as level 19 is about to be hit by SPT before TeamNut even gets 16. Hook finally lands, and she's gone.
No Gorge, no kill.
And it wasn't even on Hammer.
Yes. All right, 16 is almost there for TeamNut. Maybe that little boost in power level can help them out to at least keep SPT from taking another keep against them. Look at the Broccoli trying to find an opening here,
Nice.
easily countered by Melody C. This is not 2016, not 2017, where that actually used to work out for Stitches.
Yeah, 100% hook block rate. It's pretty insane. I mean, if anyone considers Sergeant Hammer to be overpowered, there's a very simple way to deal with that, and that's raise the cooldown on that ability. Or even just have the fact that taking siege tactics increases the cooldown by 10 seconds.
Exactly.
That's how I would change that ability. Then you have it's a very small window, but Hammer's not overpowered in my opinion. She's relatively balanced. It's just Stitches isn't the counter. Not anymore.
Yeah. There's other warriors that can probably do it a little more reliably. I mean, this is a last-ditch effort, right, for TeamNut. They try to get a little something here, but look at that beautiful stage dive.
That MVP was not ideal. Salvo, good damage, but Lucky gets a dominance off Zeratul and heals through the damage.
Oh boy.
Melody C is just running at the enemy team now. No Stitches alive to even attempt a hook as the healing pulse is picked up. They burn all their items to get control of that, but SPT, they're going to be able to get a protector out of this. In fact, they're looking to maybe even just go for mid. Going to get the mercenary camp, put more pressure on top. Meantime, ETC grabs the protector for himself.
Exactly. He's going to channel that capture point, right? He has a global. By the time this capture point is fully taken, it should be back off cooldown, the stage dive that is. So he's probably going to deliver the protector if nobody else gets there. So yeah, and with this protector scaling into the game at level 20, 14 minutes and 40 seconds, I think this might very well be lights out, either in the bot lane if they manage to get more kills, which should be doable, or in the top lane, which is already completely naked because the keep had been destroyed there earlier before.
They can probably get another turret here. There's actually one available. They're running straight to it. So they're going to be moving in with two turrets, one healing pulse, and a protector. Enjoy, TeamNut. Good luck with this defense, because I do not feel the fate right now.
Look at that cheeky Melody C, right? He's not even picking his level 20 just yet. He's just waiting for the ultimate move there, basically.
Come for it.
Oh, there we go. Now we saw the... Yep. Oh, cool. It's actually the movement speed.
Is it movement? It's attack speed, right?
Oh, let me see. Let me double check.
It is the Ultra Capacitors. Hitting enemy heroes with basic attacks while in siege mode grants 5% attack speed for 5 seconds, up to 40%.
I mean, it's probably too late already to pick the Orbital BFG because this might be a game-ending push, so going for...
Yeah.
Oh, the hook actually went through for the first time!
He got the hook on Melody Z. Yeah, Melody Z's
health.
already killing the keep again. Well, they tried. They got him. They got him. Mission accomplished.
Achievement unlocked.
Go home, boys. We're done. Send it home, ladies and gentlemen. As not forced to back up because there is, unfortunately, no chance of moving in. Double negative, so there might be a chance, but Stitches gets deleted. BFG and bye. Zeratul will buy some time.
Is he going to get away with it, though? With the insolence of stopping the onslaught?
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Oh, they're going to chase him down.
They want him, they want
juked.
him.
Hammer, Wave of Force misses. They got him. There we go. Full team wipe, and it's going to be GG. SPT takes the 2-0.
I call it BG, though, because the middle keep still stood.
Didn't even farm XP. What are they doing? In a custom game. Either way, well played. SPT take the solid 2-0, and that puts them even on points with the 1. But the 1 still have to play today. Super Perfect Team are 1 series up over the 1 at the moment. So if the 1 can 2-0 CE today, then they will hold on to their lead. Otherwise, they might only move 1 point ahead of Super Perfect Team, or the worst case scenario, they might remain tied versus SPT and have CE creeping up behind them.
Oh boy. All right. So the secret weapon, 7 Milk, the new player, the new support replacement, didn't work out, unfortunately, for TeamNut. In fact, they looked weaker than in most of the other games they've played. So they're definitely still in a slump that they need to get out of some way, somehow. SPT, on the other hand, Tetra, I think they showed us a variety of styles, right? They went for that Sergeant Hammer style in game number 2. They went for a pretty normal style, normal composition in that first game. But both times they looked pretty much indomitable. So they definitely seem to be in a good mood today. Are they going to play a second game today in that last series?
I do not believe they do. There's
going to be the